Hi everyone, it's Christine. In my last video, I talked about speaking your truth, and after I created the video, I realized that there are some things that I would like to share, and they are more spiritual in nature. So, for those of you who are open to it, please listen on. For those of you who might not be so open, maybe this is something that you might want to come back to next time. But I wanted to share my meditation experience. It's really something that I haven't talked about with many people or any people. um, it's something that I don't think a lot of people do talk about, and I was curious as to what your experiences have been. I started meditating about really meditating. I think it's only been about a year or 2 years maybe at the most. Before then, I grew up Catholic, so my belief system was extremely rigid and dogmatic. But I've undergone a lot of changes and shattered belief systems over the past couple of years. And I cannot even believe how far I've come in terms of letting go of those old belief systems, which I held on to really strongly for the longest time. I was extremely um, devoted to Catholicism at one point in my life. So it was something that was a little bit hard for me to let go of, but I decided to keep an open mind. And through this process, I've really grown and I've come to really, really enjoy meditation. In the beginning, meditation was actually quite difficult for me. I would try to sit still and realize that things were racing in my mind all the time, and I just couldn't focus on anything except all of the millions of worries and things that I was planning my next day, the next hour, the next minute, what I need to do, my to-do lists, grocery lists, whatever. There was always so many things that I had to think about. Looking back, I can't even put myself there anymore. I come such a long way, and I'm so happy about my progress that I want to share with you my experience and hope that maybe this could encourage you to stay committed to your meditation practice or start a meditation practice if you haven't done so already. Really, I started trying to do a full-on hour-long meditations with CDs that were pre-recorded. I started with pranic healing meditations, and those were really long. They were phenomenal meditations, but what I found is because I was such a beginner, that sitting still with my back straight up and erect, with my back not leaning against the back of my chair for an hour, that was tough. It was really tough. And I just couldn't do it. I mean, 20 minutes, my body would get extremely tired and I couldn't finish the meditation. And if I did, I would get really sleepy. Later, I found out this is due to congestion in my body. We have blockages in our body, and it's advised to do a little bit of exercise to clear out your body before you try to meditate because tons of energy is coming inside your body. Um, but after, I toned it down, maybe, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever I could handle. Um, and one meditation that somebody introduced me to was the Violet Flame meditation. That meditation was given by Saint Gertrude. No, sorry, that was a mistake. Saint Germain. If you look up Violet Flame meditation, you'll see it's pretty much envisioning yourself and your body sitting inside this violet flame. And what it's supposed to do, it's supposed to purify you. And because it's a flame, the first time I did it, it really freaked me out. My body would sway. So I would sit with my eyes closed, or sometimes stand with my eyes closed. And I noticed a lot more when when I was sitting down, but my body would start to sway, and it would ever so slightly, but I knew it wasn't it wasn't me doing it, and it freaked me out, really, it did. But I let it happen, and it swayed and it swayed and it swayed, and it got stronger and stronger and stronger. And it freaked me out. Truth be told, it really freaked me out. And I didn't know what to make of it. Was I being possessed? I had no idea. But um, I tried to calm myself down, and I mean, I was alone, so I didn't really know what to make of it. But I was open, and this is about when I started listening to the teachings of Abraham Hicks, and I listened to how Esther would meditate for 15 minutes a day, and decided maybe I'll try that method. So that's where I got the 15 minutes, which ultimately turned into 30 minutes. Not so regularly like she did every single day, but you know, off and on, pretty regularly, as often as I could manage. And what happened then was my my head started to move. So I would be sitting and meditating, and my head would start to move. And it reminded me of what Esther Hicks was talking about, how her head would start to move. And I thought, is this spelling out words? Like, is it going to be the same thing that happened to her? But it wasn't, because my head started moving like this, to the right, and then to the left, to the right, and then to the left. And it would do that, and then it would go up, and then down, up, down. It was strange, and then it would start to do this like infinity pattern. I didn't know what to make of it. And after many, many days of this happening over and over again, I finally realized that there was a pattern. It was 12 going back and forth, 12 up and down, and 12 in the infinity pattern. To this day, I still don't know what that means. So if any of you guys know anything, I would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below. After that, it really, I think I just started to get really comfortable with the fact that if something's happening and I'm just going to let it happen. For a long period of time, I think my back was extremely congested. So the meditation would force my head all the way back like that. And I could feel all the cracks in my back. Oh, and it was kinked at a certain point where my back just wouldn't bend back any further. So for many meditations, I would sit and it would stretch my back to a point where it actually hurt. But and then I would just, you know, I would, at the point where I couldn't hold it anymore, I would stop and bend forward to make sure that my back could just relax for a bit, and then I would proceed. But I eventually realized it was stretching out my back to make sure that my spinal cord was straight, because it wasn't straight, and that took some time. I think I had a lot of blockages from a lot of stress from my corporate job. Let me continue this on video 2. Stay tuned.